Now, you're sure you got all this quite straight, Albert?
Yes, sir, I think so.
Well, the point where the car breaks down on the way back is very important, of course. You might tell Uncle George that it happens frequently, which is perfectly true, as you know. Something wrong with the carburetor.
Oh, I rather think it's the ignition.
Well, if you wish, Albert. Anyway, leave the car where it is and start off back for the house. Make sure that Uncle George is ahead of you and takes the shortcut, the path back through the woods. The moment he starts up the path, step here to this gap. You've got the scarf, haven't you? Yes, we shall need that in this bad light. Now, you are standing where I can see you. Uncle George is the correct distance in advance. What? Splendid. There's no mistaking that. Well, you better get started. We don't want Uncle George to be kept waiting at the station.
Right.
What you reading, Mother? Is it amusing?
The Mutilated Nude.
That sounds nice, dear. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3.
Upset things, arriving ahead of time. I'm dying to see your father.
Terribly sorry. Are you all right?
Didn't touch me. It's very careless of me. It shouldn't have been loaded. I wonder what's happened to that other little fellow. Hello? You all right down there?
Yes, quite. I think so, at any rate. But I'm afraid I can't get out.
Terribly sorry about this, old man. My fault.
Not at all. Good job, nobody's hurt. I'm afraid I rather lost my way for a moment. I'm looking for Clitterburn Hall.
Oh, well, as a matter of fact, you're nearly there. Actually, I'm Albert Clitterburn.
Oh, how do you do? I'm Edward Rotherhithe. Perhaps Connie's spoken of me.
Yes, I think she has. How do you do? This is my Uncle George. My father's Uncle George, as a matter of fact. He's visiting us from America.
How do you do?
How do you do, sir?
We'll have you out of there in no time. Run and fetch help, Albert. I'll see what I can manage here.
Oh, yes.
Bring a crowbar. You'll also need a block and tackle.
Yes, sir.
Used to be some fine shooting around here when I was a young man. You shoot?
I'm afraid not much.
It's a pity. Seems to be still going on.
Damn.
Oh, bad luck, that. How did it happen?
Can't trust anyone these days. Why'd you signal with the scarf?
Oh, but I didn't.
What?
Oh, sorry. Yes, I suppose I did. I quite forgot.
What was all that firing?
Well, that chap drove us right off the road. The gun that Uncle George had on his lap was apparently loaded.
Uncle George? Is he all right?
Oh, yes, quite.
Well, Albert, you've got us up to a very bad start.
Oh, sorry, Father. That bit of car bother over there upset me.
Well, you better see about your Aunt Marjorie. Anywhere in the woods will do. She was leaving anyway, that's one good thing. I'll go and see about Uncle George.
Yes, sir.
Nice, dear. What does he do?
I don't know what he does. What's he doing here? That's what I want to know.
Now, that was all a simple misunderstanding, dear. Constance was quite upset herself. She did say she tried to tell you Edward was coming.
Oh, I had the whole thing so beautifully worked out. With any kind of normal family cooperation, the whole thing would have been over by now and logically explained. Albert simply can't concentrate.
You mustn't be too hard on Albert, dear. He does his best. Henry, you don't imagine Uncle George has someone in America, someone we didn't know about?
Certainly not, Edith. Why, you shock me.
Exactly how much money does he have?
The better part of $3 million.
We will have to explain about Marjorie, won't we?
Yes, in time, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
I do hope it won't be too much trouble for you having to find a new way. If it is, dear, I'll quite understand. We'll manage somehow.
No, I'm not easily put off.
What will you do now, dear? I should prefer no more shooting. Guns are so dangerous.
I'll think of something.
I'm sure you will, Henry.
Uncle George, what on earth are you doing?
I forgot Albert left my things here. I'm hungry, as a matter of fact. Bad American habit I've developed, raiding the icebox in the middle of the night.
What?
Thought I might find some crackers and milk.
Crackers?
I'm afraid there isn't much milk. Can I make you some cocoa?
No, don't bother. I'm sorry I woke everyone up.
Well, good night, Uncle George. All right, Edith. Albert, Constance, you can go to your room. Good night.
You're sure you can find your way, Uncle George?
Oh, I know this house like the back of my hand.
Just what happened, do you know?
Somebody made a speech in Parliament, taxing everything. Then suddenly nobody had any money. Grandfather and Uncle George had some kind of row about it. Uncle George wanted to go into trade. But Grandfather wouldn't let him do that here. And so off he went and did it in America.
Extraordinary.
I thought he'd be dead by now.
How did he make such a packet of money?
Whatever they do in America. He bought some old land by mistake. They found petrol or something on it. I think Father said.
What an amazing man.
Why?
Well, not everyone would stand up against such enormous difficulties. Preserving the old graces, staunchly devoted to his family, unshakable in the face of...
Are you really interested?
Immensely. Now, Constance, be serious.
But I am being serious.
We've scarcely had breakfast.
What on earth's this?
Oh, Uncle George brought that down this morning. It's his tea.
Tea?
What you do, Uncle George showed me how they do it in America. He quite prefers it this way now, he says. You dip the bag into a cup of hot water. And you control the strength, Uncle George says, by pulling it out by the string at just the right moment.
Poison himself one of these days.
Morning, Mother.
Good morning. Oh, Al. How lovely, how clever of you, dear. Aren't these splendid, Henry?
Oh, Albert, you better get that luggage of Uncle George's moved off the staircase before someone gets killed. Put it in his room.
All of it?
Well, put what you can in his room, but the rest in the box room.
Yes.
Edith, would it be possible to ask Mother to eat a little more quietly?
Mother.
Delicious.
I've told you before, I will not have these dehydrated, crinkly American corruptions in this house. Can't hear oneself think.
I'm sorry, Henry. That's Uncle George's, too. It is better, he says, with milk, but we haven't any milk. I know this is very upsetting for you, dear. But you must try and eat a good breakfast. Have you thought of anything yet, Henry?
No.
This stuff that Albert uses for his flowers, I don't suppose anything like that would do, would it, dear? It seems to work so well on the caterpillars and the squiggly things. I suppose that's because there's a spot of arsenic in it or something of the sort, wouldn't you imagine?
Good heavens, what an outrageous idea.
Well, it was your mother's suggestion, actually.
You haven't been discussing this with Mother.
Well, in a way, yes. Yes, I suppose I have. We had a little talk about it when Uncle George went shooting this morning. I thought you wouldn't mind, dear. I thought she might be able to help. She's such a great reader, you know.
No, Edith. I couldn't subscribe to any such scheme. What would you put it in?
Well, in the book your mother's been reading, they do it in tea.
I think it'd quite spoil the taste.
Oh, they say not. They say it goes rather well. And it had occurred to me that since Uncle George is used to those peculiar little tea bags of his, the string must give the tea a rather odd flavor of its own, so perhaps he wouldn't notice a little something else.
No, Edith. It sounds too tricky. Something might easily go wrong again.
What I thought I'd do, dear, and you needn't even know about it, I thought I might put just a little in his hot water jug of tea this afternoon. That way it would be perfectly safe. He'd pour it out himself. He likes to do that, he says. He likes to have it just the right color.
No, definitely not. I find the whole idea effeminate and sly. We'll have to think of something more straightforward.
Well, I just thought I'd mention it.
A great claret, mark you. Just the thing for grouse or pheasant.